All right, everyone out there in Radio Land, we are back. This is UITK radio station, Ushering in the Kingdom, coming at you live here on the broadcast radio here on December 28th, 2015. You heard what I said. This is 2015. Time is running out. So if you made those New Year's resolutions from January 1st, 2015, you got a few days left to fulfill them. If not, we're going to pray for you. Or we'll pray for you coming into 2016 so you make those same promises all over again going into 2017. But we pray that you had a blessed Merry Christmas, and we pray that you're going to have a blessed Happy New Year. This is Ushering in the Kingdom. And I'm sitting right here with my brother, good old brother. How you doing, that brother Tom, on the ones and twos?
I'm doing very well, thank you. It's good to see you this evening. Did you say the year is almost out?
The year is almost over, brother.
My goodness, and I must be doing the right thing because I'm still here. Wow, my wife told me I can come home tonight. My kids told me, told me to have a good time. And my grandkids said, "Granddad, we love you."
Look at that.
Wow,
that's a Christmas present in itself, isn't it?
I'm trying to tell you. and I went to church Sunday and got blessed, and it's just a blessing to be here with you. And our beautiful guest tonight.
Oh yeah, we got some great guests tonight.
Yes, we do.
I think people will be very excited about this, ladies and gentlemen, because the two brothers we got here tonight, I gotta tell you, I got some puns, but I'm gonna leave that for later in the show because I like the title of their company.
We do enjoy your puns.
My puns, right? But ladies and gentlemen, I want to say we love you. Thank you for listening tonight here on Ushering in the Kingdom. First, we want to give a quick shout out to Hot101.net. We want to give you a good God blessing and thank you for empowering us to let us do what we do. Also, to brother Edmund Dorsey over at Gyra Productions. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you, my brother. God bless you. Thank you for blessing us and letting us empowering us to let us do what we do. And Miss April, tell me. God bless you, my sister. Thank you so much in blessing us so that we can do what we do by serving the community. But like I said, this is Ushering in the Kingdom. We're here with my brother Robert, sitting over at the ones and twos. My name is Tony Mitchell. And like I said, we like to bring stuff to the community, bring people on the show that will ultimately bless the community.
Absolutely.
And by the service that the two brothers, by what they provide, I got to tell you, they do indeed just that.
Okay.
The word says, if I'm hungry, feed me.
Yes.
If I need some shelter, give me a place, a crib or a home or something, cover me up for the night. Give me a roof over my head.
Please do.
The word definitely talks about if I need some clothes. Mm-hmm. Clothe me.
That's right.
And that's where these brothers come in.
Wow.
I got to tell you, because let me talk about them just a little bit here now. What these brothers do, they provide a service to the community where they provide clothing for men, particularly, specifically, suits. That's right, suits. And that's why I love I got puns just coming to my head right now.
My goodness.
I'm going to hold back.
This suits you, huh?
They might be cool. Let one out the back. Stole my joke. Stole my thunder.
That might be the only way.
Okay, I got to cross that one out.
Cross that one out.
But yes, this suits me just fine because, ladies and gentlemen, what these brothers do, and the name of their company is called This Suits You.
That's right.
And you can look them up online at thissuitsyou.org. Mm-hmm. And what they do, they provide a service to the community, particularly to men, adult and young men alike, who are seeking job opportunities, so to speak.
That's good.
They may be well versed, or they may be, or they may not be well versed or well trained. Some are trained, some are not. Mm-hmm. But they can come to an interview, ace the interview, so to speak, from one perspective, but they may not have the proper attire to put them, to give them a positive rating as far as that interview is concerned. In other words, to book that job,
right,
so to speak. And that's where these brothers come in. They not only provide the certain attire that they would need in order for them to book the job, they also train them and give them education as well, giving them job training. Okay. So they can also ace that job interview as well. And I got to say, and that is a blessing with the unemployment rate that it is. There's some on one side, politically speaking, that say that Obama did a good job with the unemployment rate, and then there's the other side that said he didn't do so well.
Right.
Exactly. I think as of November 2015, I think the unemployment rate is now at 5.0.
Okay.
But what these brothers do, definitely, they have a great impact on lessening that number.
That's
by helping brothers get jobs, because it's important. Jobs gives a man a sense of pride. a sense of owning, knowing who he is and what he does well. That's very important. Yes, definitely. In the book of Genesis, after when God created Adam, he didn't give Adam a woman. That wasn't the first thing he gave him.
He gave him a job.
He gave him a job. Even though Adam, I think at that time was without a suit. I got that joke in there. All right, so we even, brother. So Adam, he had his birthday. But God gave him a job. It's like, I need you to do the tend to the ground and whatever, name those animals, that sort of thing, and do that without your suit. You know what I'm saying? Of course, when Adam fell, he gave over the authority to the enemy by listening to a snake talk to his woman, that sort of thing.
Woman said he wasn't properly attired.
Exactly. So God said, well, Adam fell a little naked, so at that time God had to give him a little something. Here's a loincloth or whatever, there's something made out of grass or whatever it was. Had to cover himself up. But then, hey, look, he still had to be dressed for that job.
Right.
Amen. So that's what it's about. But that's where these brothers come in. They're blessing a lot of brothers out there in the community so they can gain employment by providing them with certain attire. The company started, looks like, in 2013. Am I correct?
Correct.
I'm correct with that. So let me introduce to you, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the CEO and founder and entrepreneur of That Suits You. Let's give it up, hand claps and finger snaps for Brother Gerard Casey. How you doing, my man?
Hey, what's going on? Thank you so much for having me.
Amen. Thank you for coming on. And sitting right next to my brother right here, he is also the marketing manager of That Suits You. Let's give it up. Hand claps, finger snap for Brother Xavier Porter. How you doing, my man?
Happy to be here.
Oh, glad you're here, my brothers. Now, so we just definitely want to dive in and have you guys talk to us about what you do and everything, how you affect our community out there. Brother Gerard, okay. So tell me, I'm sure you've heard this question quite a few times. What was the impetus or the catalyst to get you started on this journey providing attire for brothers?
Well, like I said, thank you for having me.
Amen. Thank you
for the forum. Basically what gave me the idea was doing a lot of interviews for men. For my current job, I would have men come in and they would give solid interviews. They say the right things, know what to say the right words, have a good resume, but their attire was lacking.
Okay.
So, we all know that appearance is key. When you come in, you want to give your first impression is the best impression. You want to look good, you want to look sharp. So a lot of these guys, they weren't dressed properly. And, it came to my mind, there was probably two reasons. One, they didn't know better. Two, they couldn't afford the suits. So I got the idea to kind of help these guys by cleaning out my closet one day, talking to my brother, saying, "Hey, we got some suits. Why don't we, donate some suits to these guys that can use it?"
Okay.
And then, the second part of it was them not knowing.
Okay.
So not giving them a suit is great, but you also want to give them why do you want to wear a suit to an interview? What's the importance of it? Okay. So when we started giving these guys suits, just to see their reaction, to receive, some of these suits these are like $500,000 suits, and just to see the guys' reaction when they received the suits was it just kind of gave me a feeling like this is the right thing to do. This is the right direction to go in. Wow. And there were so many programs and opportunities for women like Dress for Success and Bottomless Closet. That there weren't that many options for men, so it just seemed like it was the perfect storm. That this is the right time. This is we have the right opportunity. We have a chance to really make an impact, and it just starting out, it just was like you get all the questions like how you gonna do it, where you gonna get the suits from, where you gonna put it, why would these companies want to work with you, why all these questions that came up, but just pushing through all that and getting it started, and getting your feet on the ground. And then you see how the progression takes place. So it's just been a wonderful experience. Like you said, we started 2013, and you said this suits you, but it's called That Suits You. So that's why.
Thank you, my brother. That suits you. That suits you.org. Thank you, my brother.
No problem. But so just it's really been helping a lot of men, and like the reaction, the expression, and the appreciation that they show. It's just been tremendous.
Wow, I got to tell you, it's really something. you spotted that off, and you said it was something that moved in your heart to help brothers with this. Now, Brother Tevye Porter, now I want to talk to this brother as well. It says here in his bio, he's a 38-year-old father. He's got one child, 13-year-old daughter. He's worked in the field of mental health and in the nonprofit sector for 15 years.
Yes.
So I can see by what you're doing there and how you really want to serve the community by being a blessing to them. Was that one of the things that was the impetus to join along with Brother Kersey in doing this?
Absolutely. One of the things that I was trying to, one of the things that I was trying to accomplish within the organization that I work for was to do something similar that Gerard is doing, which is provide proper attire for men as well as women when they go out for employment and things of that nature. And I found that was one of the biggest obstacles and hindrance and barriers for people who suffer from mental illness and trying to get employment or trying to attain employment.
Wow.
So I figured, let me just kind of figure out how I can network with individuals and try to pinpoint how I can get the proper attire for people. And one day, I actually communicated with a lot of other individuals before I met Gerard. I interacted with local laundromats, local cleaners, because you find that a lot of people leave clothing behind the cleaners and laundromats, things of that nature. And and I contacted friends and family, things like that. But one day, sitting in the house, Sunday morning, I tell them the story all the time. About 10 o'clock in the morning, I'm usually not up at that time, but someday, for some reason, I'm up on this day. And I actually saw the segment featuring Gerard and his brother on the Sandra
Here and Now.
Here and Now, yeah.
Oh, Sandra Bookman.
Yeah.
I'm talking about that.
And as he's speaking, I'm listening to them. I'm listening to his vision, and I'm listening to what the mission is all about the organization. It's exactly what I was looking to try to do internally in the organization I'm working for.
Wow.
And so I said to him, I said, I'm going to stalk this guy.
You gotta stalk.
And not literally, but I'm going to stalk him. And so I sat there and I watched the whole episode. I just sat and I watched this whole segment. I made sure I tuned in and got all the information I needed to get. I made sure I got the name spelling right. I Googled him. And I immediately inboxed him on Facebook and explained to him who I was, introduced myself to him as who I was and what I'm trying to do in the organization I work for. And we actually agreed he would come out. We met at my office. We had a great discussion about some of the things that I'm trying to do, and then he came down to one of the job fairs that we were having taken place in the organization. And ever since then, a lot of things I've seen take place in the community regarding offering assistance to people, and men included. I said these things that I'm coming across, I felt like God has put me in a place. This is like a rite of passage, or this is your mission right here. Because I believe firmly that we're all messengers. And so I said to myself, I need to. Everything it just kept coming. I just kept coming across these opportunities. And I would just contact Gerard and let him know. And I just thought it was a great opportunity for his organization and the mission and the vision that he has, because I strongly believe in it.
Wow, that's pretty interesting, my man. Well, I'm glad you stalked him. Brothers are being blessed because of that. Usually stalking is a whole other situation.
You don't on the radio.
By the type of suits that you provide for brothers, you said now reading into the specific colors, I guess they have to be, apropos for the corporate world, so to speak, like blues, browns, grays, that sort of thing.
Right. We try to be specific, because before we just said donate your suits, and we really did strong drives with churches. So we went to churches and said donate suits. But unfortunately, a lot of churches, we got the suits, the Easter suits, I guess, and then you get the sisters get mad at the man and they want to just donate any suit that he left, so you get the 10-button suits and things like that. So we had to get kind of specific and say, interview, attire, blue, black, gray, brown, those type of suits for interview ready suits, not just any suit. Quality suits. So.
Do you put certain parameters, like do you ask them to dry clean them before you get them, or do you guys clean them? You take them in any shape or form or whatever, and then you just clean them up.
Well, we don't tell them, but we do work with. We have an excellent partner, a cleaners downtown Brooklyn, Bridgestone Cleaners that we work with. They clean our Everything's free. We take them to there, they clean it, and they give it back to us. It's perfect. So they don't necessarily have to clean it. We have the cleaners, and they're excellent cleaners. I suggest people use them. Right in Dumbo, and they're also in, I believe it's one on Court Street also. Bridgestone cleaners, and but we have a few cleaners that work with us. Also, Hot cleaners in Manhattan. So it's a few cleaners that definitely work with us. So they don't necessarily have to. Right. But if they do, that's definitely a blessing.
Oh, okay. Now, do you guys do like a door-to-door thing, call up churches and different organizations, or do they find out, do they mainly come through you through word of mouth or something like that?
The clothing?
Yeah, the clothing, yeah.
Well, initially, we went around knocking doors and contacting churches, and but then we use social media a lot. Okay. So we actually started reaching out to celebrities like Bill Ritter. He's been a Channel 7.
Right.
He's been a tremendous supporter. He did videos for us. He donated suits.
Wow.
It's been tremendous. And also Rob Nelson. Okay. So we reached out to a lot of celebrities, and they love the vision, so they want to donate suits to us. We go to cleaners. We go to churches. We go all over. Individuals, regular businessmen, lawyers, they donate. So they they wear so many suits, and then sometimes people grow out of it, or they don't like the style anymore. So so we get suits from all over.
Gotcha. I mean, you guys been everywhere. I mean, you worked with everybody. I've seen stuff on social media with you guys with Eric Adams, you got Common, Sandra Bookman, Kanye West. You got you slashed the mic out of there. Everybody else got a great video when you read that suit.
I'm on social media. I go crazy. I'll take your pictures.
So what are you doing?
Immediately going on social media because I want people to see what we're doing.
Right.
I want people to see that we're active. I'm just not trying to I got 1,000 suits. I'm not just trying to store these suits. I'm trying to collect suits and get them to men that can actually use these suits. There's so many training programs all over, just New York City, Brooklyn, Queens, the Bronx. So many programs that are training. But then once they finish, I'm training.
Right.
I know what to say in the interview, but I don't have anything to wear to the interview. So we're trying to fill that void that is definitely missing.
Wow, that's pretty interesting, my man. Now the other thing I wanted to ask you, I gotta ask you this: do you guys have like 48 extra long?
The good news
size 15 shoes. I'm just
joking. we actually have large. The trouble comes when we try to help guys that are 5'7", 5'5".
The smaller guys.
Oh, really?
Those are the suits that seem to come in not as prevalent.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So
that's interesting.
Those are the challenges.
Challenging stuff for the short people, huh?
Yeah. I feel bad. The guys want a suit, but I don't want to give him a big suit, and it doesn't fit right. It doesn't fit right.
Okay. Brother Porter, says on your bio, so you are a self-proclaimed change agent, my man. Tell us about that. Why you call yourself a change agent, and how you change certain things by working with That Suits You.
Well, a lot of what I try to do in anything that I'm involved in is see the opportunity for growth. I want to take things. I like to take things to the next level. Like I told Gerard all the time, I have 1,000,001 ideas. I always have an idea, and what I need to start doing is writing them down, actually. And so I also see a lot of things taking place in our community that I feel a person of myself can bring about change. Spreading the positive word, encouraging men to try to strive and be successful, not just to be successful for themselves, but also be successful for the future. And show that, outside of what the world perceives us to be, or society perceives us to be, we can be anything we want to be.
That's right.
And so, therefore, I don't want to say preach, but maybe I can.
It's all right, brother. It's coming, man. I'm feeling it.
You want to preach some integrity and preach some understanding and value, and also have a moral compass about what you're trying to do in life. And hopefully you can instill that in other people around you. That because it rubs off. People, a kind word or just a kind gesture, it rubs off on the next person bigger than what you expect, or larger than what you expect. So, I just see a lot of things, like I mentioned, in the community that can it can have positive effects on everyone around it if you have a person that's committed to the change. You don't want to just sit back and say, okay, I see that's taking place. You see that you can affected, but you just stay quiet and let it continue to evolve the way it's going to evolve. But if you can actually put your foot in or voice your opinion about it, you can bring about change to a certain situation, organization, even a person's life. You know.
So true.
And being the fact that I've worked in the field of mental health for almost over 15 years, and also going back to school for my degree in human service. That also has given me a lot of insight on how to affect people's lives as well as my own, because we all share this world. That's how I see it. We all share this world. So if I'm going to be a part of something and I believe in it, and I see that it could be positive for you, I want you to be a part of it as well. We're all about connecting, building relationships, and trying to help the growth of society.
Brother, you said you gave a word right there, brother. I'm ready to give it off.
My father always said I had a little preacher named my grandfather. He was an elder.
Okay.
You know, and so my father was a deacon. So who knows? Maybe it is passed down to me.
There you go. Well, brother, you are feeling that part of the fivefold ministry. I mean, he's ministering by what you're doing and just by what you spoke right there. You know, a pastor to me, a minister to me, is not someone who always has to be in the pulpit. He's out there on the street, you know, right there on the ground. Changing lives, amen. That's what it's about. But it also says here, Brother Kersey, he says that you're a husband and a pastor who saw a gap in the community as well, and that needed to be filled. And it says here that you believe that changing the outer appearance is important, as you mentioned before, to taking the next step in life, but not nearly as important as changing the inner man. Talk about the inner man for a little bit.
Well, I mean, we know the importance of wearing a suit, and that's basically what it's all about, that suit. But it's so much more as far as the inner man is concerned. Because you can have a suit, and some people, they lack the outside, but they have the inside. Some people lack the inside, but have the outside. So we want to build on the total man. So we want to give them training. We want to give them presentation. We want to teach them about the importance of image. We want to teach them the importance of, how about instead of looking for the job, you start your own job? How about you start your own business? So we just try to open up potential and start to think about, this is what we try to teach the younger generation, not so much, because you know, our older generation, my parents, they really weren't thinking about, well, not my father, my mother wasn't thinking about starting businesses. She just said, look, you get that job, you go to that job, you stay at that job, you stay there. So I mean, this younger generation, they have so much opportunity to be owners, be CEOs, to build, to make, to create. So we don't want them to have that same thinking that a lot of us had growing up of just getting a job. Jobs are good,
that's true.
But how much better is it to own, so that you can do the hiring. You can be the boss. You can be the CEO. So I think that's the message for this young generation, is that the opportunities are there. But so often they think is you know, they don't have opportunity. No, you do have opportunity. You just, sometimes you may have to just make your own opportunity. And don't be afraid of the challenge.
There you go. Because you always say, what's that old expression? Clothes don't make the man, or something like that.
The man makes the suit.
But these brothers, well, and like you say, you put it in correct balance.
Right.
Clothes and the inner man have to balance out, so to speak, to give that proper image out there, that positive image. I remember a radio interview, I'm sure you guys probably saw it. Well, I picked it up, I didn't see it originally, but I saw it on YouTube, where brother, what's his name? Dave Dash, he did a show. That was a pretty testy show.
Breakfast
Club. But it was Breakfast Club. But it was pretty interesting because I said, man, this brother just coming hard.
That's a big debate. People got upset with him.
Really?
I understand what he was saying.
Right.
He wasn't really arguing with them. He was just letting them know, listen, if you love radio so much, why not have your own radio? So I think he's just talking about basically what we talk about, giving people options.
Exactly.
If you don't even think that's an option, I'll never do that. I could never have that. Then you won't even try to pursue it. But if you know, listen, I have options. I could wear suits 3 days. I could wear jeans 2 days. You know, I have options. All we try to give people options.
That's it. Giving them options. You showing them that the options are there, because a lot of people look. Perspective is everything.
Right.
If you're thinking that, well, I can't make it, or I don't have certain things, you're thinking that so therefore the result of that thing is that I got no options.
Absolutely.
But these brothers are showing, and you're helping that. Say, you got no options. Well, you guys are an option as well. You're presenting that. I can get you the suit that you need to do that, to get you where you need to go. I think that's pretty important. Brother Toon, you want to expound on anything?
Yeah, I was looking at some of the pictures you had here. I saw that you had a young man in the center here, and just going on with the conversations that you're just speaking about. I can just see a young man having a potential in him, the mindset to do well, but is held back because he doesn't have the clothing he feels to sit in front of the interviewer. And the interviewer may not hear his abilities. They may see it on paper, but they may be taken back by his presentation. And he might be the best of 5 that came in the door. But because he wasn't properly attired, the interviewer may get a preconception of this person's lifestyle. He may say, well, you know what, I don't think I want to hire this guy. Only because of his preconception of the way the guy, his presentation. I sat on interviews a few times, and guys came in with short pants and sneakers. And everybody before them came on in dress suits and ties and everything else. And the guy with the short pants and sneakers, he automatically didn't get the job. Automatically. It's like, are you coming from the park to an interview? Don't you know where you are, how important this is? So it's very important. It gives self-esteem and motivation, and it gives that guy that 40% edge that he would not have by being dressed properly attired. And then also by you instill positivity in him, that training, that pre-training, going to the guy and saying, listen, what are the questions they're going to ask you? These are the questions they're going to ask you. What would be your response? Give them a chance to practice. A lot of times people take tests and they fail because they haven't taken a test in a long time. So they freeze up. But if you practice an interview, if you get ready for that, then you walk in there and you says, oh, please ask me anything. I'm ready. Matter of fact, here's my cover letter. I want to tell you about myself. You may not even ask the questions I want you to hear, but if you give me 5 minutes, let me just read a little something to you about what I've done already, and that will impress them. I went to a job one time, and I did that. I read my cover letter, my about me, and 5 minutes later, they're having a conversation amongst themselves. And I'm like, okay, are we going to start the interview? This says, brother, you got the job already. I says, well, thank you. And that was a good feeling. Rather than, answering questions and saying to yourself, well, did I answer that right? Or stumbling through the questions or coming up with a blank, I really don't know the answer to that. And how important that question was that I didn't know the answer to. So, it's good. Preparation is very good. I'm very glad to hear what you guys are doing.
Thank you. 2 things that, if you don't mind.
Sure.
You had said preconceived notion of how when the young man came in for the interview. I write also for the Huffington Post. I write a few articles, and that's one of the things that I talk about. And that's why it's so strong in my heart about the suits, because if you look on television or if you look and read the paper, all you see is negative images about black young men. So they're already coming to an interview. They don't have 0. They have -7, -10.
Right.
So they're already behind on the scorecards. So those preconceived notions are just, and then they don't come in with a suit, and then they're not trained. Then you see why the unemployment rate may be so high among young black males, because they're coming in against it. So we just try to give them, not even balance the playing field. We try to give them an advantage. Because it's so important for them to get that get high on that scorecard, because they're already coming in low. And then the other part to that, Sushu, is it does so much more. It's so powerful when a black man gives a suit to another young black man.
Absolutely.
Because that changes so many dynamics that may have been in their head, or that they never had a father, or nobody's ever given them anything. And here, I don't want anything from you. I don't want any money from you. You can't pay me. You cannot buy these suits. These suits are not for sale. They can't be bought. So we're here giving you these suits for you to empower yourself to do something for yourself. And that part of it is so powerful, and that's one of the reasons why I love it, because when they see, oh, this is something y'all started, who's the boss, who's in charge? We are in charge. We're doing this, and we're doing this to help you, and that part of it can't put a price on.
Oh man, you sure can. I like that. You get, hey, that's what it's about, man. Because I was about to ask, I've seen several of our leaders and pundits on news shows and sports shows. One, Stephen A. Smith, talk about this. I think it was First Take, but I remember he expounded on one show where, I'm trying to think, I think it was a tweet or something that came in from one fan who watched the show, whatever. But I think what he was trying to explain, he said, look, young people, you got to understand, he said, you're wearing your pants, and that's a big thing, you know, the whole question of, and which I'm going to ask you guys as well, where he talked about how a young man looks to certain part of society, particularly young African-American men. Specifically, he has tattoos all over his body. He said, you can't, he said, with that, and if you walk, he said, you can't be like LeBron. You can't be like J.R. Smith. You can't be like certain, NBA players that have tattoos up to their neck and sort of thing, and then walk into corporate America and ask for a job. He said you shouldn't try to emulate them to that level. He said there's a balanced level to certain things, but then there's also excessiveness. When you go extreme, anything taken to the extreme is usually error in the first place.
Exactly.
And he was trying to explain to them because they were getting on. They said, "Man, this guy, man, you just being an Uncle Tom and you just cooning folk, you're trying." And he says, look, I'll take all the hits, but I'm telling you, young brothers, he said, look, the NBA only has like 500 players. That's it. Millions of guys, young kids, I'm sure they have some sort of basketball talent, want to get in there, and they want to emulate these guys, and they want to, So he said, you got to tamp it down, get yourself an education, so that prepare yourself like what you guys are doing to get a job. But that was the type of things that he was trying to answer. So how do you guys, in saying that, how do you guys approach youth, so to speak, out there in the neighborhood? You see it with the sagging pants sort of thing. How do they receive you when you approach them about, hey, look, do you give them like a hard sell that you can be better, I'm sure it's a touchy thing, but tell us your experiences with that, if you had them, or certain challenges that you guys deal with, and trying to get into certain people who might not understand your message or your ministry.
Well, with the young men, I would have to say that being genuine and being honest and upfront, and also sharing personal experiences, and I think young men are more open to someone who's been there, who's experienced what they've experienced.
Gotcha.
Like Gerard mentioned, I may not wear a suit every day. Excuse me. But when I do wear a suit and I do come across a young gentleman with their pants low, hanging low, I will do my best to encourage them to say, listen, you don't have to dress like this. It might feel like it's a fashion trend now. You might think it's cool, but as you get older, or as you're being perceived right now, you're being perceived as a hoodlum. And you may not even be a hoodlum, but you're just being perceived as a hoodlum. Right. And so therefore you want to change the image of who you want to be. And if this is who you want to be for the rest of your life, then we're here more than willing to help you to get past this. But as it relates to just coming across young individuals in the community who are dressing with their pants sagging to the bottom, I always try to explain to them, I've been 16, I've been 14, 15, 16, 17. I've even had my belt pop on me once or twice as older. But you can't have this image of you just don't care about yourself. Just having my pants low and just hanging low is like you're basically telling the world, I don't care. I'm just going to come outside and look any which way I want to look, and not really have a focus on achieving anything. And that's the image, and that's the mentality the mindset that we're trying to change. So if any opportunity that we get to engage them around that issue, the best approach that I find is just being straight up, being honest, being genuine, and sharing personal life experiences and say, listen, I've been there. I've been to high school. I've lived in the projects. I've seen how drugs and things move around. I know how things are. Right. It's a different generation now, absolutely, from when we grew up. But at the end of the day, it's still the same mentality in some aspects. Wow. And if we can reach them on their levels, just like in different modalities and different therapy, if you reach a person on their level, you're probably better able to get that person to change their ways.
I have a question.
Sure.
Not only are the youth dressing that way, but the idea of dress is supported by the market, because they're selling clothes that are to be worn that way. They're producing movies that glorify people dressing that way. They have videos of people, quote, hip, cool, doing those fun things dressing that way.
Mm-hmm.
And so there is no Madison Avenue message or establishment message saying that you shouldn't dress this way. Matter of fact, they're like, well, we got them in different colors, we got them this way, we got them that way, and you look real cool. As a matter of fact, these underpants will look very good with your pants hanging down. We got them in different colors, you know, you can sport our label, you know, and so how do you fighting Madison Avenue who's putting out it's okay to dress this way, and the mindset that doesn't recognize that they're being programmed to say, I want to dress this way?
Well, I like that question also. My strong opinion on that is education. Education. It goes back to education and understanding where you're at in society, how corporations operate, and understanding where you want to be. Hip hop definitely, in my opinion, controls everything now in this world. Mm-hmm. Everything connects to hip hop. However, there's good hip hop, there's bad hip hop. You have to find the right balance, and if you choose to want to make money in society and the corporation level, hopefully once you get to that level, hopefully once you educate yourself to that level and get to that level, the message that you project back into the community and the society we live in will be a positive message, and you can change a person's style of dress, their style of life. But you know that you want to take over now?
I was gonna say, from my personal experience, I mean, I know personally, I've had some wild styles. You know, when I was wow. I had to kid and play. I mean, my hair was up here.
Oh, you had razor, right?
Then I was really into I was really into the club scene, so I used to wear the big giant shoes and so I had some wild style. I mean, so I know that this is like a phase, or hopefully it's just a style. Okay. But we've done presentations, and we've had guys in there with sagging pants, and you know, what we try to do is, as he said, is education and options. Let them know, listen, we always ask them, where do you see yourself in 5 years? If money wasn't an option, what would you like to do with your life? Okay. So that takes them from the present to the future. So as we take them to the future, we open up vision, and they begin to see themselves, wow, if I want that, then I have to do something a little different than what I'm doing right now. So we try to change their perception of, you know, this is just, I have nothing to live for. So where do you see yourself? What do you want to do? What's your plan? You know you can own this. So we try to open up, and once you open up someone's options, then they have a choice to say, okay, this is all I want to do, or this is okay, I have an option to do this. Now at least I know I have an option. Now I know this is a path that I can take, and if I want to take this path, then I have to make some adjustments. So whenever we do presentations and workshops, we open up the vision, open up their minds so that they can see. We take them away from, because if you just say, pull up your pants, man, what's wrong with you?
That's right.
That's not going to work.
That's not going to work.
That may even get them more angry. They may pull them down even further. So I mean, we try to say, we don't even talk about the pants. We talk about the bigger picture to get them to see, okay, I want something different. So now I have to begin to do something different.
Oh, that's pretty powerful, my brother. That's excellent. Well, we're gonna continue that, because what I want to come back when we come back from a break, I want to talk about how you prepare brothers for jobs and job placement, that sort of thing, about your training. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't you dare touch that dial. This is Ushering in the Kingdom. We're here with these brothers, Brother Gerard Kersey, hand claps and finger snaps, Brother Xavier Porter. We got more to expound upon. We'll be right back here on Ushering in the Kingdom. All right, out there in Radio Land, we are back here on UITK radio station, Ushering in the Kingdom. And we got something that suits you.
All right. I was waiting
all night to get that one. We got the brothers who run that program here right now, thatsuitsyou.org. We got Brother Gerard Kersey here along with Brother Xavier Porter. They're going to expound upon again about what they do by providing attire for young men and also adults alike. We're going to talk about their curriculum, job placement, and stuff like that. But before we get to that, ladies and gentlemen, we encourage you to hit us up in the chat room, because that's where we're going right now. Looks like we have some questions in the chat room for our guest, Brother Tour.
Yes, we have. Okay, great. We have a few questions in the chat room. And so the first question is, tell us about the curriculum that you have, such as resume preparation, hygiene, tying, and body language. As you know, in terms of preparing persons in these areas. Tell us about that.
Well, we do, it depends on the programs, because some programs, they partner with us to just provide suits to their clients because they do all of the training. Some job training programs want us to come in and do presentations. And when we do those presentations, we do tie demonstrations where we bring ties for the whole group. And you only get a tie if you can if you tie it yourself. So we show them how to tie it, and if they tie it, we also do mock interviews where we call them, each person up, and they will do a mock interview with them, see how they handle it, see how they sit, how they present it, how they handle challenges, how they handle rude people who interview. You know, sometimes people interview, they have no, you know, they're very rude, very arrogant. So we give them all type of different scenarios. We also teach them about their social media presence, because some interviewers check your social media before you come in for the interview. Right. So we talk about the image, we talk about presentation, we talk about what to say, what not to say in the interview. So we have a whole list of what our presentations can consist of. It all depends on the program. Like I said, some programs, they just want us to just give us a suit. Some programs want us to come in and do training. Some programs want to, you know, extensive trainings. We've done a couple of presentations at New York City College of Technology. We've done a couple at Asa College. Metropolitan. Okay. So, and starting 2016, we're going to be going into public schools, so we've already worked that out. So we're going to be starting younger, so that not just with older guys, but we want to give them this message at a younger age, so that they can be better prepared as they go out into college or start their own business. So, you know, different things like that.
Beautiful. Cool. All right. Second question. Do you follow up with some other men who benefit from your service, and how do you encourage them to sow back in? Most important, do that.
We have like I said, some programs are different, but some programs, they'll have us come back to the graduation so we can see the men after they've graduated. Oh, that's interesting. And we get testimonies from the program and say, oh, the guys who gave the suits to, he went on to work here, he went on to work there. We do encourage some of the guys to come back and be part of what we call our circle of life. These are people that have a history with us, so that it can be a testimony to some of the guys that have gone through. So some guys do come back and say, listen, I want to, if you need speakers or if you need somebody to help out, I want to be a part of that. Some guys we don't hear from, which is fine, as long as they went out and did what they had to do. It's not mandatory, but it's strongly encouraged. So that's one thing that we want to show, because we want people to see, look, this is a testimony of what happened. This guy, he went on, and we have some great stories of guys that have went on and done some good things. So that's what it's basically all about.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Are there any personal biblical studies that your candidates participate in?
Well, being that this is it's Christ-based, because I'm a Christian, my brother's Christian, I'm a minister, but we basically help everyone. Okay. So it's nothing, no curriculum, I would say, based on the Bible as far as, but we are living Bibles. Like the scripture you read earlier, you said, when I was naked, you clothed me. So that's one of the bases that we strongly emphasize. Listen, we're doing this of a Christ-like action that we're performing. Sure is. So whenever you give, we believe that it'll be given back unto you, good measure, pressed down, shaken together. So we're basically working the principles. So even though they may not be per se going through biblical, they're living the example as they're seeing us live Christ-like.
Amen to that. And the last question, but not the least, what was, is the most challenging attitude to overcome when working with these men? For instance, defeatism, male ego, grandiose pride.
You want us to pick which one?
Well, have you encountered any or all of those things, and how did you how do you work with that? How is that a challenge?
I think
how do you get around it?
I think one of our last workshops we might have had a situation like that, where the person outside of the grandiose, but a person felt as if they weren't able to accomplish what they wanted to accomplish. They had the self-defeating attitude, and also they were too prideful to receive the services that were being given. And so our goal, our method, our approach is to explain to them that everybody comes from all different walks of life, and at the end of the day, we're all here to help each other get through life together. And I think the more that this person saw that other people were in tune with what we were offering, that person wanted to be a part of it. Even though he might have had a self-defeating attitude that he felt like he might not be able to progress in life, he was able to kind of sit back, taking what he was being given, taking the message, taking the service, and get a form of hope, in a sense. And because we offer hope, and we're also offering a lot of things to encouragement to go forward in life. And this, hopefully, from that workshop that we completed, he was able to progress from afterwards with the services that he already had in place. We've come across plenty of people who are too prideful. They don't want to participate in workshops. They think they're better than. We don't need a tie, or we don't need a suit, and I'm going to be able to, I'm going to be able to become rich, and I don't need y'all. But yet, at the end of the day, you're in a program trying to better yourself, and we're here to try to assist you with that. So our hope and our goal is that a person will participate in the service that we offer, and a lot of times the men, they do. It's all about the approach, and like I mentioned earlier, being straight up, being honest with a person. There, people, they know off the top if you fake. You come through the door, and if you're not being real and being honest, a person will pick that up right then and there from you. So we're honest in ourselves, we're honest in our approach, and we're honest with the message and the vision that we're offering. And then people tend to take to that, and so therefore it makes the service it makes the service much more easier, and makes it much more easier for us to engage people and kind of get them to be open to what we're offering.
Okay, I have a question. The man walking in the door, where is he coming from? Is he coming from a shelter? Is he coming from his house? Where is he coming from?
Most of the men that we, like I said, we work with. I was familiar with Hope Program, Osborne Association, ICL. So we work with students that are guys in college. We work with men that are coming home from prison. We work with men with mental health issues. We work with men that were previously homeless. But most of the men fit the category of getting back into the workforce. So some of them are coming from various different backgrounds. So, but some of them are in college as well. So we get the gamut of everything basically. So they come from all over.
So they come to your locality.
No, we go to the programs. So Hope Program, they have a class for 6 weeks training men. And then once they have a certain amount of men graduate or in the top or work ready, interview ready, they will contact us to provide suits for those particular individuals. If somebody came off the street and said, hey, I heard you on the radio and I want to get a suit, we wouldn't be able to work directly with them. They have to be referred through job training program or college institution.
All right, so you guys are like the final graduating piece, right? So you went to your program, you got trained, you sort of maybe cleaned up your act, or you got re-educated, retooled, and now you guys give them their suit of armor per se, and that boost that they need to go out into that corporate world, because you are coming in sort of representing the corporate world. You know, you're like, we're here, we're the interchange. Look at us as a corporate world. Do not be afraid of us. This is what we expect from you. This is what you can expect to receive from us. We're going to give you 50-50, but we're looking 50-50, and at the same token, we're going to teach you how to get that 25% more than if you didn't ask the question.
Correct.
Right. So therefore, you may want to know something more about the company, but maybe you should do a little research.
Right.
Maybe they may not do that initially. They just show up. They just sort of sign the door, but they don't even know where they are.
Exactly.
You know, so you teach them how to look into that, to look into the company's history, and find out what they can expect from that company, and also to find out the benefits that are out there that might benefit them. Do they have a 401 or something, you know, something in place, or retirement, or are there a union shop, or what does it mean to be a part of that, and why is that important? So you guys do all that as well, I presume.
Yes. One of the reasons why I love what I'm doing so much is because I get to go into these big corporations, into their boardroom, and speak to the leaders and their decision makers.
Right.
And I get that information. I get whatever information they have. Now I've got that information.
Right. So you know what they want.
Right. And I get to take that back to somebody who may not be privy to that information. So now I'm giving you insight, I'm giving you secrets, I'm giving you, I'm not holding up and just keeping that to myself.
Right.
I'm never the type of person to just you know, I always use the expression that people say, it's lonely at the top. I always say, people say it's lonely at the top is because they didn't try to take other people with them when they went.
Okay.
So I try to go back and take as many people as I can with me to the information that I'm privy to, because I would want somebody to tell, if you know some information that can help me,
right,
and I know you, and you don't want to tell me
exactly,
you have some information that can change my life, but you just not going to tell me because you want to make sure your life is changed completely first. After your life is completely changed, oh yeah, this is what I learned. No, why not tell me as soon as you get it, so that we both can do some things together. So I mean, and I've met Xavier. I don't think it's been over a year, maybe a little over a year.
Yeah, man.
My brother, that's my man. You know, we always together. And then my other partner, Shy, I met him maybe a year and a half ago. And these are lifelong relationships that we form just because we decide we have a vision together to build something. So we trying to share as much information as possible. Now, whether people want to listen, but we sharing it. We talking about it.
That's a beautiful thing. And you said earlier that you are very much into social media. How does that play into what you do?
Social media is.
We should snap our fingers for that one.
Social media.
Well, they're all over social media, man. You know, parents go about in between break, they do it.
Social media is incredible. I mean, social media has been such a great thing because I had to get on social media to get the word out about that suits you. So I had to get on social media to contact different businesses in different places and let them know what we're doing. And it was so great that I actually wound up starting a social media business.
Wow.
Because of a lot of the companies that I was contacting, they didn't have a social media presence. So what I do now is I manage their social media because they don't have time. So people that don't have time, they have a business but they don't have time to run their social media. I actually started started a business because of that and running their social media. But social media is so key to that sushi because it allows us to. We've gotten so many magazines. Here and Now, Channel 7. Chris Reagy from Channel 2, the news reporter, met him, and just who else did we meet? Just so many people on social media, and without social media, it's almost impossible to reach guys.
Right.
But social media makes it so easy. If you say the right words, you know when to say it, you know how to say it. It can be an incredible tool. Now it's just a tool. It's not a miracle work. It's just a tool. But if you use this tool right, it can really
build your future.
Exactly. So that's why we always posting pictures, always connected, always answering questions.
Because I get a lot of requests from folks that, you know, they want to link me in, they want to do this, they want to do that. They all want me on their social media, and I guess I just have to Be on it.
Be on the right, but you want to be on the right ones.
Okay,
the right ones. Because social media can also be an evil out there. Because it's a platform to interact and engage with the world. And once you put something out there, everybody can see it. So you want to make sure that you're putting the right message, the positive message, and also you want to interact and engage with like-minded individuals such as yourself.
Absolutely.
You don't want to engage with people who are doing things that, I don't want to say affect your brand, but affect you as a person.
Exactly.
So you want to just make sure that if you're going to interact and engage with people, great. Just make sure everything's on the up and up, and also as you're interacting and engaging with others, you also want to build that relationship where they can help you as well.
Exactly.
It's not about you just doing something for that person. It's also about sharing and connecting and building.
Well, sharing is important thing because one thing I want to find out because once you have to expound upon, you guys talk about expanding and reaching out to other organizations to I guess partner with you, so to speak. How does that work out? How do you guys do that, and what organizations do you partner with to enable you to do what you do?
Well, we're always partnering with new job training programs. We're always
job training programs, okay.
Throughout this, because there's so many, so we're always looking to expand on that. But we're also looking to meet new donors, people that want to donate the attire.
Okay.
Media outlets like this to come on and spread the word about what we're doing.
Gotcha.
So we're always looking to TV, radio, anything that we can do to spread the word about what we're doing. And also, either we can help by donating or we can receive donations. So we're always looking to, I don't care what radio show, I mean, as long as it's a legit radio show, like I don't care what it is.
Right.
If we can get on it and just share what it is that we're doing, it makes a big difference.
Oh, okay. Because I'm trying to think of, you probably worked with our church organization before. Well, the thing is, we got something planned with these guys in the future.
Yeah.
With ICB and with Ushering in the Kingdom. So we're gonna, when the details are finalized, we're going to announce that.
Yeah.
So ladies and gentlemen, watch out. We're going to be joining with That Suits You, because it does suit us. We're going to get suited up. That's right. We're going to get suited up, bro.
Also, your pastor, he personally donated like, I think 50 of his suits.
That was it.
To That Suits You. And I was like, I came to church, Elder Shaw.
Okay.
I came to church, he set it up, and he rolled them out. 50 good suits too. Nice.
Wow.
So, and then I saw him at Borough Hall one day. I said, I want to thank you for donating the suits. He said, oh, that was you? I said, yeah, that was me. Thank you very much. He said, oh, no problem. So
there you go.
Definitely appreciate it.
Hey, clap some fingers now to Pastor A.L.
Well, I may have one or two suits. I do the best I can.
Excellent. Well, also, now tell us about, speaking of that, tell us about, you guys have some events planned in 2016. Is there any events you can tell us about that you're doing besides, well, of course, the plug I just said, we're going to partner with you guys for Suit Drive. So tell us anything else.
That's the main one.
That's the main one, okay.
Because we have some other ones that we haven't been finalized, so we can't really announce it. But we have, if they go, make sure you stay connected to us on our website, www.thatsuitsyou.org.
That's it, people.
And on all social media at That Suits You, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Blab, Periscope, Google Plus.
That's it.
Everything.
You got it all. Now tell me about, do you also do actual job placement, so to speak? Do you feel like you're taking an individual through the training, getting the proper attire? Do you sort of like a guidance counselor, so to speak, guide them to what type of job or what type of skill they have that they can apply to a job, so to speak? So you say like you have an interview, okay, we went through the training, but we're not sure where we want to go, what kind of job I should seek, that sort of thing. Do you get job notices where you can actually place them there or take them to an employer or lead them to an employer to be hired, that sort of thing?
Well, our role kind of works as we work with the actual programs that handle that. Now, what we do, if an individual comes to us, we have so many resources that we can say with the programs we work with. We can direct them. Okay, you have this skill. I think this program will be perfect for you. So we have we don't actually do that, but we have so many resources with the programs that we do work with that we just, if an individual does come to us, we can refer them to an excellent program.
Oh, that's excellent. That's excellent. I mean, that's pretty important right there. I mean, so at least they're guided in the right direction with
right.
You know,
we've like Joel mentioned, we've connected with so many different resources, and we're skilled enough to kind of like pinpoint exactly what a person is their preference or what they really want to be involved in. And sometimes we've come across certain people that we've been in workshops with. They presented us with resumes. We glanced them over and see what their focus is and their skill set is and what their goal is. So we're able to kind of direct them and say, listen, you should, maybe if you're interested in plumbing, maybe you should go to this training, or maybe you should interact with this workforce, because a lot of times we find that workforce ones, they have a lot of employment opportunities on a daily basis. So sometimes we're able to kind of direct people to certain outlets.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard of Workforce One downtown Bond Street or something like that, right?
They're all over.
Oh, excellent.
They're in a lot of libraries too.
Also, tell us about your team. I know you have Jamel Thompson. He's co-founder.
Yes.
All right, and any other members of your team. Shout them out and tell us about them.
Yeah, we have Jamel Thompson, my brother. He's excellent, young guy. I love him so much. He's, he's my younger brother, but he looks a little older than me. I always say. But he's a dynamic part of this. I mean, I couldn't do it without him. He's also he's a business banker, so he's a vice president at Capital One Bank. He's just he's got an excellent mind, and also we have a female partner. Maritza, she's also on the team. She's actually does very good with event planning. For some reason, women are really good with that. And she knows about detail. I mean, things I would never do. Detail. That's it. And another partner, he's out in Long Island, Pastor David Dimitri. He's also he has a church out. It wasn't Long Island. He's in Queens now, but he's also on the board. So we also, and I mentioned Cheyenne Bostock. He's also one of the guys that helps does a lot of things with us. So we have a pretty good team. And, Xavier, he's making connections, making things happen, getting us on shows, getting us in print, getting us in newspapers and things like that. So and the funny thing about it, only Jamel and Pastor David I've known for years. I've known for years. Rest of the guys and Maritza I've met recently. But they just love the vision and love what's going on. So I'm just excited. I'm thankful for them. Of course, I have to mention I can't do any of this without my wife, Kenya.
That's important, brother.
Shout out for Kenya, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
None of this.
Shout out the ladies, brother.
I wouldn't be able to even go to sleep tonight.
I'm telling you, I was just about to say that. You don't find your
Sometimes we have suits all over the place and things going. So I just really appreciate her patience and understanding of that. This is big, and this is important. So I really appreciate her, and I thank her for that.
All right.
We have one question in the chat room. They want to know, how did you come into contact with UINTK? How did you find out about us?
That's a good question.
Oh, okay.
Not a funny question, but actually a great question. So, first off, we found out about Ushering in the Kingdom through social media, Facebook. One day, one of your members contacted me via Facebook. And she was looking for a different Xavier Porter.
That was probably Janice.
That was Janice. And so she messaged. Well, actually, I believe she sent me a friend invite. And so I inboxed her and said, "Well, who is this? Who are you?" And she began to explain to me who she was. And I said, "Well, I don't know you, but this sounds like this could be a great connection here." So she, you know, we talked via Facebook for a little bit, and I accepted a friend invite, and we continued to talk, and then we finally spoke on the phone and everything, and we just shared so much about what we do with that suit shoot, what I do, as well as how me and Gerard met, and everything that she does with y'all.
Right.
And you know, I said, you know what, maybe it'd be great if we all come down and we come on the show and we just talk and sit around and answer whatever questions we need to answer, and just,
there you go.
You know, kind of say,
that's it. Hand claps and finger snaps. Director
Janet's doing her thing.
There you go. See,
and ever since then, me and Janet's been communicating. She's a wonderful woman, wonderful lady. You know?
Great, yes she is.
Very thankful that I met her.
Oh, wonderful, man. We're thankful you guys make that connection, because I got to tell you, this is a blessing to so many people in the community.
Absolutely.
I'm sure they really, really, you know, and I pray, and I'm sure it will happen. You guys are going to get a lot more donors or people that want to be involved with you. But tell me, now with the suits, like you said, do you guys have a special storage facility that you house the suits, or you keep them all in your homes? How does that work for you?
Well, we keep storage in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. We have a storage place there, and we have a storage in Manhattan.
Oh, in Manhattan as well.
So they have to be accessible, because I get emails daily just about. You know, we have forms that we give to the programs, and once the programs have guys that are ready, they email the forms to us. So once I get that email, the suits have to be accessible where I can have, because sometimes I have to pick them up. I got to go to the Bronx, I got to go to Queens, I have to go to Brooklyn. I need 5 suits here, I need 6 suits here. So it has to be, you know, I got a good deal to store them in Jersey.
Okay.
That's not gonna help me. Because if I gotta get a guy a suit in the Bronx, then I gotta go all the way to Jersey, get the suit, come back to the Bronx. Nah, that's not gonna work. They have to be somewhere close. And so that's how we're doing it.
Plus, you have to inventory those suits, right?
Right, we have them on the computer.
You just can't get 5 suits. You have to know what size they are. Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Interesting. Now tell us about how you distribute them. You know, tell me about a normal day of distribution, so to speak, how you give them out to certain individuals.
So we have, say, 30 job training programs. We limit each program to 3 suits per month. So we that's why it's kind of their top 3 candidates. So if somebody's coming to the program, but he's not, you don't think he's really taking it seriously, you're not going to recommend him for a suit. You're going to only recommend your top 3. So they'll send an email. John is ready for a suit. They send his sizes. We check the inventory with the computer. What we got in the computer. We go, okay, we got this size at this location. So we go pick up the suit. We deliver it in about 2 to 3 business days. So we go up to the job training program. We deliver it there. We take pictures. We meet everybody. How you doing? Everything. And then we go on to the next site.
Oh, interesting. And now tell me also, how does your workshops work? Are they like 1 day, 2 day? Do you do how do you work those out? Or they vary depending upon I guess whatever event you're doing? Yeah,
it varies. I mean, it could be 2 hours. It could be
2 hours.
It could be 4 hours. It could be 2 days, depending on the. Depending on what the program is actually looking for.
Oh, okay. I guess have you guys ever done like multiple workshops in a day, or basically just one a day?
So far, just one. I see in 2016.
That's what's gonna happen.
I see that happen.
We bounce from one place to the next.
Oh, that's pretty interesting.
or maybe staying in one place and doing an all-day type of workshop thing.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Now, eventually, the big picture is we'll have our own place where we store the suits, and we'll have workshops and presentations. That's the vision, and we'll have that location like that in different cities.
In different cities. Oh, okay.
That suits you Atlanta. That suits you Dallas.
Okay.
That suits you Barbados.
There you go, my man. So your main headquarters, do you want to mainly have that in Brooklyn, like your first main headquarters in Brooklyn, or
Brooklyn or Manhattan?
Brooklyn, Manhattan. Gotcha. That's pretty interesting. I mean, I'm trying to picture this. Would it look sort of like a store, so to speak? I'm thinking brother walking in there. Well, I guess oh man, I get a free suit here. I guess you want to be careful with that.
They say by appointment only.
Right, by appointment only. Very interesting.
And I think also with the expansion and the growth that's where the job placements will also take place. So we'll start to really pick up. I mean, like we mentioned earlier, we're able to, connect people with other resources. But I think with the job placement piece, we'll probably be more effective with actual placement. Once the expansion is going forward. Because we have great relationships with a lot of employers. So I think once we continue to go forward, continue to grow, it's going to be great.
But also, tell me what is like I said, you guys started in 2013. You want to get multiple places, like in different states, that sort of thing.
Right.
The vision. I'm trying to think. The main vision. I mean, what would you say is your core vision once all of that's accomplished? Once you have that done.
Well, I mean, I kind of model it after Just for Success. They've been around about 12, 15 years, I guess. Okay. But they're like worldwide. They're the epitome of what we do for women. That's really, so I see that suit shoot going in that direction. I mean, because men in suits will never go out of style. I mean, sometimes men, the tie, I see a lot of men wearing suits behind a tie, or, I see different, but suits will always be the staple of a man taking care of business, a businessman. So, I mean, as long as that's important, then this kind of program will be important.
It is very important, because I tell you, in this case, with these brothers, suits do make the man. leads them in the right direction, so it can be a pride man, a righteous pride, so to speak.
Amen.
So and that's very important. But we're going to take a quick break here. This is Ushering in the Kingdom. We're going to come back for our last closing statement, so don't you dare touch that dial. This is Ushering in the Kingdom. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here, Ushering in the Kingdom. Here at UITK Radio, we're here with our brothers with ThatSuitsYou.org. Okay, let's give it up again, everybody, for Brother Gerard Kersey. And clap, finger snap. Also for Brother Xavier Porter. My brothers, thank you. You guys have given us a blessed interview, such excellent and crucial information that I'm sure that will bless many people's lives. So this is a portion of our show which, we have some closing statements where we want you just to address our audience, our community out there. Again, just give a quick reminder of who you are and how they can reach you, and is there a particular message that you want to tell either the youth, adults, or both out there concerning That Suits You?
Well, I want to thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it. I had a great time. My name is Gerard Kersey. Like they said, I'm the founder of That Suits You. Please follow us on social media at That Suits You. That's ThatSuitsYou, and also at PK's Pitch. That's my personal page, PKSPITCH. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google Plus, Periscope, Blab, everything. The vision of That Suits You is just to help to change the image of today's male. We do that by posting quality photos of professional men. We do that by giving suits to men that have completed a job training program. We do that by giving suits to college graduates and high school graduates for prom and graduation. We also do that by giving presentations, teaching about the importance of image, the importance of social media, the importance of how to conduct an interview. And we also we try to give our young people options, teach them about owning their own business, supporting other people, networking, building strong relationships, which is so key. Not competing against one another, but celebrating and helping one another to be better. So like we always say, life is not about being better, but it's about helping others to be better. So once again, I just want to thank you for the time.
Well, Gerard said it best. My name is Xavier Porter, Public Relations Manager and Marketing at That Suits You. That's ThatSuitsYou.org, ThatSuitsYou.org. I can also be followed. You can also follow me, reach me on Twitter at Xavier Porter 227. You can also find me on Facebook at Xavier Porter. I'm also on Instagram, at Black Fruit Punch 227, the nickname. But either way, you can find us, get in contact with us. Our goal, our mission is to continue to help men in the community get their lives together, help them with providing suits, so that way when they're ready to go for that final position, or that they're ready to accomplish that final goal, we're right there to help them get there. So, at any time, just give us a call, inbox us, get in contact with us. We'll come out for workshops. We truly enjoy what we do. We find this as a blessing. And we really want to connect with a lot of individuals as much as possible. So again, don't hesitate to reach out to us. You can hit us up on you can connect with us on any social media outlet. You can DM us, as they say in social media talk. You can DM us, you can inbox us. Just get in contact with us and reach out to anybody that we've been in contact with to discuss us or how to get in contact with us. You have our social media sites, you have the website, and again, we're here to assist, support, and encourage and help people grow. Mm-hmm. We're all change agents. So I think if we all have that mindset, you'll see a lot of success and a lot of changes in our society. So let's get connected. Let's do it together.
Amen. Brother Tuma, any closing words?
Yeah, Brother Gerard and Brother Xavier, you guys are definitely a blessing. I just love your vision. I just love what you're doing. I'm so glad that, you guys were able to come together and just to, become a unit to do what you're doing. And I do know that the men who are receiving these suits are not just receiving a suit of clothes, but they're receiving a renewed spirit, if you will. You're building the inner man that's been neglected, if you will. Mm-hmm. And they're getting that current and that nurture from another man who's saying, I'm looking at you and I see more than what you see in yourself. And matter of fact, to encourage you, here, put this on and go forward. Mm-hmm. And it's just great to hear positivity coming from our people doing something for our people. And it's just a pleasure and an honor to have you guys here. I do know in the future we're going to do a collaboration with you guys, and I'm just looking forward to that. And, come back and let us know more of what you're doing and how we can be a part of that. It's been my honor indeed to meet you today.
Thank you. I'm very happy. We're very thankful to be here. And thank you, Janice.